Hello. So, I wanted to talk about trust issues because there was some people struggling with it uh, that I knew, and I think the the approach that I would take it is I wouldn't give. I think people put too much pressure on the other person to succeed when it comes to certain things. So this is not universal as a concept because I want to start out by saying that um, it is not universal, right? Because there are a lot of times in which you can't really apply this. But I think in general, this tends to be what is the more effective, at least for me. This is what I would give myself advice on. And the advice would be never trust anybody with something that you know they can't do successfully. So, tell them, hey, go do the trash or something like that. And, you already have it all preset and everything, and all they have to do is just take care of it. And it's like, okay, well, that seems like a pretty easy task. You take it from one position, put it somewhere else. That's pretty easy, right? Or you never trust them with information you don't mind getting out, right? If you, let's say there's something you want to tell somebody, but you don't want to say it directly because the other person's avoiding you or something, and so you say, well, your feelings on that particular person, but you say so in a way you don't mind somebody saying verbatim. It's like, well, I wish that they didn't have this issue, or that I would really make it a point to help out with that issue, but they're not giving me a chance. So that way, if it goes back to them, and even if they telephone and it's a completely different story, you could be like, no, this is what I said when I said this, with confidence, because that is exactly what you told them, right? So always try to make it so that you do everything on purpose, and you leave nothing to kind of something that can be screwed up, right? Especially when it comes to people that you don't trust very well. Now, with people you trust very well, even if, we all make mistakes. Sometimes if we say something we didn't mean to say, we let something slip, accidents happen. And it would behoove people to use. I think that method is really solid, because now you've made it so that essentially, people are talking about behind my back, and usually when people are talking behind people's backs, it's because they don't want to say it directly to them. But if you want to say things about other people and you're kind of bouncing ideas off of other people, you say, well, this is what I would say to them normally, but they don't want that, right? I think it's very good to be direct and forthcoming when it comes to what you have to say on how you feel and everything. So if you, for some reason, can't directly talk to that person, and the only way you can do so is behind their back, then you make it a point to say what you were going to say to them to other people, and then it can telephone their way to them, be a little askew, but you can always clarify your position because this is what you said in the beginning. So that's what I would say as far as that is concerned. As far as getting people to, hey, can you take me to the dry cleaners? I don't know. I don't think a lot of people do that. But as it's like, well, they're always late. They're always, always making a point to be like, okay, well, it takes me about half an hour to walk there. Maybe I'll just take a bus. Maybe I'll just walk there. Maybe I'll find some other way. And then it's like you put less emphasis on them helping you because they're obviously not going to make it a point to be more efficient with how they're helping you. So the point is to put less pressure on them because obviously they're fading out. And it would behoove you to try to make it a point to take them out of the equation so that your friendship isn't burdened with disappointment at their expense. And that's the thing. It's like, even if they are like slowly fading out of their life, it doesn't mean that you should just try to prevent that at all costs. Like, sometimes you just let them fade out. It's their, people have a tendency of, changing, and, that's kind of what we do as humans. They're constantly changing everything about ourselves, as far as, like, Sassy. Sassy. No. Come here, Sassy. Anyway, so yeah, the idea is to not give people too much room to really disappoint. And that's the thing. If you are doing this to incentivize them to stick around, well then, what are you doing, my dude? So, all in all, I think, as far as this specific area of trusting, I think is just, it's more on on the person having the trust issues. There's a two-way street, and at some point you have to realize that you might be contributing to this problem just as much as the other person is. And that would be how I would come about this. This is what I would tell myself. And if this helps you in any way, I'm very glad. So, yeah. It was a long time since I uploaded last, but I had a lot going on. But, long story short, have a good day, and yeah, see you around.